Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we are going to talk about push notifications and how you can use push notifications, how you can send push notifications without using Firebase or without using authentication of Firebase. So previously, in order to use push notifications, you have to use Firebase authentication. You have to have a user, and you have to have the token. And the FCM token, which is actually the device token, which you need in order to send a push notification. And in order to have this token, you had to have authenticated user, and you had to authenticate your user using Firebase. But some of you, like me, for example, I'm using API calls, and I'm using my own backend. Sorry, I'm using PHP, for example, for my backend, and I'm using MySQL or MySQL for my backend. And because of that, I actually don't need to authenticate my user using Firebase because I already have a user. But in order to send push notification, I was obligatory to actually use authentication from Firebase. But now, using this method, I will actually show you how you can do that without using authentication from Firebase. So let's jump into it and let's show you how you can do that. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you actually need Firebase. Why you need Firebase? Because we'll actually use Firebase to send push notifications. There are actually a couple of other platforms you can use to send push notifications, and I have already researched them. So you can use, like I said, other platforms. So for example, let's give me an example. You can also use Pusher, for example. This is also a platform like Firebase, and it's like Firebase. You can send push notifications, and they have two products. And the product that you need is Beams. It's the name of the product, which will actually send push notification. It will actually work for mobile. It will work for web, and this is the website that they have. And feel free to actually see how it works and the pricing as well. And of course, there are others as well. So we have One Signal, for example, which can do exactly the same thing. And there are others as well. The one that I can recommend you to use if you don't want to use Firebase, it's Pusher actually. But still, this is not a video about Pusher. Actually, this is a video about how you can send push notification. I think the most easier way using FlutterFlow itself. So because we are going to use, like I said, FlutterFlow, and because FlutterFlow is so good integrated into Firebase, I think this is the best way of doing it. So first of all, you have to connect your Firebase using your project. So first thing that you have to do is set up your Firebase project. And then when you're done, you have to connect Firebase with FlutterFlow. You have to get authentication. So that's actually a very good written inside the documentation. So I'll not go into that. So if you go to the documentation, it's docs.flutterflow.io. You can actually write Firebase, and I think it's Firebase setup. This is the third result from the search. And then when you click on it, this is actually very detailed how you can set up your Firebase, how you can grant permission to FlutterFlow to access your Firebase project, and there is the videos as well. So when you're set up, like I said, your Firebase, when you connect your Firebase to FlutterFlow, the next most important thing is actually go to Firebase, and on the left, in the bottom left corner, you have the plan, and the plan should be bronze, pay as you go. Why is that? Because you have to actually have bronze pay as you go plan in order to actually send push notification messages using Firebase. If you don't have bronze plan, it will actually not work. And the bronze plan is because it is pay as you go, and according to regarding to your push notification messages, it will be some. I don't really actually know the pricing of push notifications. I don't know if there is a cap, like the most push notification you can send. I'm not sure about it. If someone knows about that, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, so those are the most two important things. Set up the Firebase project first, and then set up the project to be bronze. And when you're done with that, we actually jump into Firebase. Okay, great. So we are right now in FlutterFlow, and I said Firebase, but I meant FlutterFlow, of course. So we are right now in FlutterFlow, and I am actually going to create a brand new project because I want to show you from the beginning what you need to do. And first of all, let's say this is push notifications project. Of course, I have to spell it correctly. Then click on the blank. I want to be a blank project. I don't want to mess with any other templates or something like that. So for the project name, I'll actually set up Firebase. I'll actually make it, I will not set up Firebase from here. You can do it, you can still do it, but I will not do it this way. And I will click start building. Why I don't want to do it this way? Because I know how to set up Firebase myself. So I don't want to leave FlutterFlow set it for me. I just want to set it myself. And I have to write the project ID here, which I can take. If I go to my Firebase console, I can click on the Gearbox project settings and then take the project ID, which in my case is this one. I'll actually blur it. And let me show you where you can get it from. You can get it from here. Just click on the Gearbox project settings, and then this will be the project ID over here on the right side, of course, where your project ID should be. Great. And then I'll click connect. And when I click connect, I should be able to connect it. Okay, so the error that you see over here, it's actually a normal error. It says that I'm not the owner of the original project, which is using the Firebase project, and because I wanted to actually use the same Firebase project that I already set up for another project, but I'm not the owner of this project in FlutterFlow, so that's why I'm getting this error. So I'll just change the project because it's a demo project, so I can just change it, and I would just write this demo project, which I am the owner both in FlutterFlow and Firebase itself. Great, and now this worked, and I don't need Firebase storage. I don't need it, so it says not deployed. I don't care about that, so I just leave it like that. Great. And then the most important thing is actually go down and go to push notifications. And because we are actually using this project in FlutterFlow to send push notifications, we have to enable push notifications. So if I enable push notifications in FlutterFlow right now, I have to deploy them. So let's deploy the push notifications right now. Okay, so now it's done. We have successfully deployed the push notifications. I don't need actually allow shadowing. The idea of allow shadowed push notifications is to have a push notifications that is sent every like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or every day or wherever. but the whole idea is that this can be done only through an action, and I don't think that it will work the way I intended to work in my video, because in my video actually I set it up so people can have their own notifications sent on a specific time frame. So for example, in this video over here, my idea is that the notification can be sent once a month, for example, or once a week, or every day, or a specific time, or whatever. So I don't need that, like I said, and I successfully deployed the push notification. This will actually take some time. It will take 5 minutes or maybe more. So don't, you have to be patient for that. Okay, great. And then if I click over here, it says, in order to use push notifications, the project must use Firebase Auth and have a user's collection configured. So you actually say, okay, but I don't want to use Firebase Auth. Why do I need to use users collection? And the idea is that because FlutterFlow is actually thinking that you will get FlutterFlow, the idea of how FlutterFlow is working is that when a user is registered, it will when a push notification is enabled and when a user is registered or signed up, it will actually automatically get the token from the device and then store it in sub collection of users collection. And because you don't have this because I don't have this right now, or you will not have it when you set up this brand new project, that's why FlutterFlow is saying, hey man, we need this in order to successfully send a push notification through FlutterFlow. But the whole idea is that we'll actually not use FlutterFlow in the end of the day. We will use FlutterFlow to build our project, but later to send push notifications, we can use our own backend. Because what is the idea to send a push notification and how we can send the push notifications? We can only send it through an API call. It's a simple API call. It can be executed or it can be fired from any backend or any code or any code language that you know out there that exists that actually have support of API calls, of course, and so we actually have to comply with the rules that FlutterFlow have set up right now for us. And like I said, this is right now only for FlutterFlow and how FlutterFlow works. And because we don't want to use that, but still we have to comply it, because right now it will actually work. If you don't do anything, it will actually work. But the problem is that we'll get this error. And having this error will actually make it not work, right? Because we cannot download the app, for example, or we cannot push the app to deploy. We cannot deploy the app, and so on and so forth. So that's why we have to comply with those errors or with those rules. First of all, in your project in Firebase, you have to enable Firebase database. This is the first thing that you have to do, but it's very simple. I will not show you. It's very simple. You have to just go there and just enable it. And then when you're done with that, the second thing you have to do is go to authentication, enable authentication. And when you enable authentication, there are actually two things very important that when you enable authentication Firebase, we want you, for the flow, we want you to have. So you need to have initial page, the entry page, and the login page. And don't worry about those again, because we'll actually not use them. Because we will not use authenticated users. So what I try to say is that we can have fake one, for example. So we can have fake pages. Let's say fake one will be the first page that I have, and we can have something like fake two. Unfortunately, right now you have to fake it. There is no other way right now that you can do it, but you have to fake it. And we are faking it because, like I said, we don't want to use them. So actually, now that I think about it, actually, I think you need only one page, because the entry page will be this one and the fake page will be fake page, because we don't need actually two fake pages, because the second fake page will be, because when a user enters your app, they don't have a notification. What is the page that you want the users to go? It is homepage, and this is always true. It doesn't really matter if you're using your own backend or you're using Firebase backend. You always want the first page to be homepage. So that's good. That's good for us. That's okay. That's totally fine for us. And the login page is the page that a user will be redirected automatically when they log in or sign up. We're actually not going to use Firebase for login and sign up, and that's why we're using this page fake, which is the page that no one will never go there. And here we says warning, Firebase has not been set up, and we'll deal with that a little bit later. The third thing that we have to do is we have to create the users collection. So in order to do that, we have to go here to Firebase, click on create collection, and just write users. When you write users and click create, it will actually ask you, do you want to populate the default user fields? And just click yes, I want to. Great. And now let's go to settings. Let's go to Firebase again. And let's auto generate the config files again. Okay, great. So far, so good. And now we had 5 errors probably, but now we have only one. So if I click this one, it says Firebase indexes are not deployed, which is a normal error. We should go over here, go to settings, and then you have to deploy the Firebase indexes. Now, and the rules, we actually don't need the rules, because the rules, we are not using, we will not use Firebase collection. So, like I said, this video again, it's for people only who are not using Firebase as their backend, and Authentication as well. Authentication and backend, they're not using Firebase. The only thing that they want to use right now is to send push notifications. And like I said, the easiest way to push notification is Firebase. So that's why we're using Firebase, and we are not going to use the backend. We are actually our users collection. They're going to be nothing in it. Just to let you know, correct. And then we are actually done with our setup right now, which is great. And now let me actually show you the most important part, which is how to get the FCM token, which would be, like I said, the device token. And we can actually use this token and then send a push notification to this device. So let's do that right now. Okay, great. So when we are done with all the setups and all the settings configured, how we are going to get the token from the device. We are going to get it using a custom action. The custom action that we are going to use is very simple, actually. It's this one over here. I will put the code into my GitHub repo, so you can take it from there. And I can just set get FCM token, or just the name of the action will be get FCM. Click save. It will ask me, do you want to populate those fields? And I'll say yes. Okay, populate them for me. I will try to compile it. And to be honest, actually, I think this will not compile. But let's see. And if it does not compile, I have to exclude it from compilation. But let's see. Maybe it will compile. And while this is compiling, actually, let's have a little setup. So the little setup that we have is this is our initial page and we'll have a button. So let's say a button over here, which when I press, it will actually get the token for me. So I will have something like this. So I will have something like a login page and I can actually grab the login page. I think I can grab the login page from add page, and then I have something like out, and I will have something like let's say this page, which will be a login. Use my design. It should be login, for example. And then let's say this is the page that I have, and I can actually, I think I can copy the colon and just go to home and just delete this button and then paste Control V to paste it over here. And now I can delete actually this page, the login page. I can delete it. I don't need it. Which is the right button for me, and then delete page. Great. So I have this page, and I only want to have, let's say, the login or the sign up. It doesn't really matter, actually. And I'll delete those fields as I don't need them. And I'll delete this one as well because I don't need them. Yeah, so okay. So let's imagine I actually don't need this one as well, this one as well, and this one as well, because I don't want them to be into my setup. And this one as well, and this one as well. I don't need this text as well. Great. So let's imagine that this is our login page, or this is our sign up page, actually. So let's imagine that this is our sign up page for our user, because we usually want to get the token of the device for our sign up page. And when, let's say this is not a sign in, let's say this is sign. Let's say this is sign up. So we are actually signing up into the page. And when we sign up into the page, right now we have this out login. We actually don't need that. We can delete that. We're not using the out here. And we'll have our own backup logic for logging the user. And when we are done with our logic to set up the user, to authenticate the user, then we can get the user token. Or we can get it before that. It doesn't really matter. But it will be a chain of actions, right? So in order to get the token, we need to use this custom function. And this custom function will actually return us our custom token. So let's say this is FCM, and let's say token, which would be, this would be the token as a string, as data type string. And then I want to set up, I want to actually show this token. And let's say I want to show the token under the button. So let's try that if it will work. Yeah, let's show it over here. And I will set up a page state, and I will just create, it will be token, and this will be a string, and it will be not knowable. So we'll just say 1, 2, 3. This is just for debugging purposes. You don't need to do that, but I just need to display the token so I can actually see when I testing it. You can actually see that the token is successfully taken, and then I'll make this from variable, and the variable is from the page state. So like I said, this is only for debugging purposes. I just want to show you that this token is successfully taken. And then after that, I will add another action. It's set state management, and then it's update page state, add field. It's only one field that I have. And then the field, it's set variable, and the variable is coming actually from action output. and FCM token. So that's it, actually. That's everything you need to do in order to get the token. And if I go to custom code, this is the code. You can actually see it successfully compiled without executed from compilation. And about that, actually, because some of you will ask, okay, but why we have on line 11, we have import Firebase messaging, but we're not importing it over here. We're not importing the pub spec dependency. And this is actually a great question, because when we usually have something like this in import, this is a package from Flutter. And when we have packages from Flutter, we have to import them or add them. And this is the package, actually. It's in a pub def, and why we are not adding them. And the simple answer for that is when we go to view code and then click on pub spec, you can actually see all the default packages that FlutterFlow is using. And when we enabled, if you remember, we enabled push notifications inside the settings, and it was taking a lot of time, like more than 5 minutes. It is actually added those packages for us. And this is the package. It's Firebase messaging. You can see the version from it. It's added out. Of course, when you're watching this, it will be not the same version. I guess it will be a higher version. But what I'm trying to say is that this package will be added automatically from FlutterFlow. And it's actually a good practice to see if a package is already added by FlutterFlow. And if it's all added automatically by FlutterFlow, you don't need to actually add it or override it, because this will actually lead to errors and issues. So that's why I'm not adding it, and that's why I'm just importing it into this code. Great. And the last thing that we have to do is actually test if this will work. And we have to click on the DevTools and download the APK. And this will take some time, 2 to 4 minutes. And when we are done, we'll actually jump into my phone and test it from there. So I will see you in my phone. Okay, so this is my phone. We're currently on my phone, and this is my app. And when I click on sign up, you can actually see the token, and then I can copy this token, and then we can use this token to actually send a push. Okay, great. So after I show you how you can get the token, of course, you can send this token to your backend, so you can actually have it in your backend. You don't need to actually get this token every time the app is run. You only need it to use it, or to actually to get it. You only need to get it once when, for example, when the user sign up to your app, and then send it to your backend. Or actually, if you don't have an authentication for your users, you can actually get this token without an authentication at all. You can actually get this token. So in my case over here, when I just show you for my app, I didn't have a notification at all. I just click a button and then get the device FCM token. So like I said, you don't need to have notification at all. But usually what I'm going to do is when a user sign up, I will, and when they click a button, I will sign up successfully to my app and then get this token, because I want to associate this token. I want to be associated with a specific user, just like Firebase is doing. I want every user to have a specific token. Great. And then let's go to how I'm going to send an actual push notification to my device, or not to my device, to the user's device. In this case, it's my device, but it will be a user device. So let's create a new API code. So it's a simple API code. We actually use FlutterFlow to send the API code. But again, like I said, you can use Postman. You can use, I'm using Insomnia for API codes. You can use your backend. You can use, I'm using PHP. So you can use PHP to send this API code. You can use wherever you want to. doesn't need to be done through FlutterFlow. I'm just using FlutterFlow because it's easier for me to just show you the setup. And then, so the first thing that you have to do is the name of the API call will be test push notification will be, or let's say send push notification. Great. And this should be post. This is post request, our method type. And then the URL will be this. So it's fcm.googleapis.com, fcm and /send. And then the body, we need the body. So okay, let's go first with the headers. So the headers that we need to have, it's content type, and then the content type will be application JSON. And then we need one more thing, which is authentication. And then the authentication, the key will be the authentication, two dots and then key and then equal. Okay, so here we need, let's save that real quickly. So, or let's add that, not save them, but add it. So here we actually need the key. This key will be always the same key. It will not change throughout. That's why I'm not going to put it in the variable. But where do we obtain this key? So to obtain this key, we have to go back to Firebase. So this is Firebase. Just click on the gear, click on project settings, and then click on cloud messaging. So when you click on cloud messaging, you have this cloud messaging API legacy, and it's currently it's disabled. So you can enable it right now. So you can go to Manage API, Google Cloud Console, and then switch to the Google Cloud Console. And then you have this cloud messaging, and it will say enable. So I'll just click enable right now. Wait a few seconds to be enabled. And when it's enabled, you actually see something like that. You will see it is enabled. It's a status enabled. Great. So that's everything that we need to do over here. And then we can go back to Firebase. So when we go back to Firebase, we just need to reload this page. Just reload this page. And then you actually see your service key, which is over here. I will make it blank so you don't see mine, but you see the service key. And then when you see the service key, you should go back to FlutterFlow right now and just add it, just paste it over here. So this will be the service key. Great, let's save that and let's go to body. So when you go to body, it will be a body of JSON type. And the JSON type that we're going to send is, for example, let's say it is this one. So let's say it's this one, for example. And the token actually will be a token that it's the token that we just got from. Let's format that real quickly so you can actually see it better. So the token actually that you see, and let's delete actually this page as I don't need it, this image. And I'll put a random image, or I can just leave it blank. This is the image that you see in the notification. I'll just leave it blank. I don't need to post any images. Great. And then the title will be, this is a test notification. And this one will be sent. It will be sent from FlutterFlow. The body will be sent from FlutterFlow. Great. And then we need the token. We need the FCM token over here. So we need to know to which device we're sending this. And the FCM token, just like I show you, it is coming from the device and from the button. And we need to paste it over here. So when we paste it over here, make sure to click format Make sure you don't have any errors over here, and let's save it right now. So when we're done with that, we can actually go and test it. But before we test it, we can actually just to show you how you can do that. You can actually the token can come from a variable, so I can just show you real quickly how you can do that. The title can come from title, and then I can show you how this is going to be, and the body can come from a body. But like I said, this is not going to come from, usually you're not going to use FlutterFlow to send your push notifications. It should come from your backend, to be honest. But I just want to show you, in order to, if you want to use FlutterFlow for some reason, this is how you can set up as well, right? So it could be dynamic, right? So this could be dynamic, the body could be dynamic, and the title could be dynamic as well. And the token, of course, it should be dynamic because you're sending to each individual device out there. So if you go to response, now we have the token, which we can copy and paste, which is this one. And then the body, the title will be, this is a demo notification. And then this will be sent from FlutterFlow. And now if I send this right now, I should get a status 200, which indeed I do. And I have multicast ID, and I have success, and I have 1. And failed, I have 0, which is fine. That means that this push notification was successfully sent. And then I have the result, which is the message ID. Great. Now let's actually show you how this looks like on my phone. Okay, so this is my phone. You can actually see that I just received a push notification, and now I will send another one, so you can just see it in real time, and it will be a second push notification, and it will just say I received a second push notification, my second push notification. So that's it. So before you go, I just want to let you know that I set up a Discord channel, which will be for my 3,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for everyone who subscribed to the channel. The Discord channel will be officially announced when I reach the 3,000 subscribers. It is well structured. It will be well structured with the general tab, which you can see the info, the news. And we will have also click to talk, so you can actually talk to other members of the channel. And we have the YouTube videos as well, where you can see all the YouTube videos. You can also have, if you want to, if you want to request a video, you can go to video requests, and then we have the paid members from YouTube, which they have a separate channel where they can talk. I also have from the mentoring sessions, we have the paid members. And then it's structured by backend, FlutterFlow, API calls, Superbase, SQLite. And then you have the design, where you can ask design questions. We have the custom code, which is code expressions, custom functions, custom widgets, custom actions, and FlutterFlow source code. We can talk about the FlutterFlow source code as well. And we have integrations as well, pub, dev, packages, platforms, if you want to integrate different platforms. We have the general integrations. And then we have, you don't see it from my face, but we have also the settings. We have the dynamic links, we have the push notifications, we have the app settings, we have the Android deployment, we have the iOS deployment, and we have the web deployment. And the last thing that we have is actually we have the languages, and we have other languages. So we have like Swedish, for example, Spanish, Portuguese, and all other languages that people from those countries or those languages can talk in their own language. So yeah, like I said, thank you very much for all the subscribers. And before you go, I just want to say that the paid membership for YouTube is now open. So you can be a paid member to my YouTube channel, which means a lot. And thank you very much for all the people who are right now paid members to the channel.